Previously on Disaster Class.
So first off, you got to ask yourself 3 questions. What can I do to take care of myself? Second, what can I do to take care of my family? What do I need not only to take care of me, but take care of the family? And then what can I do to start pitching in?
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason Perez.
And I'm Wesley Long.
And we're bringing you a fresh new take on disaster preparedness.
Welcome to Disaster Class.
What can I do to start pitching in?
That's it. How can I help someone else?
Yeah.
You know, working, and it could be something as simple as, you know, hey, I've got a chainsaw. Let me go help my neighbor get a tree off his house.
Yep. Huge.
Or I've got some, you know, I got a first aid kit. You look like you got you know, we're used to in this day and age of whatever we need will show up on our doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
COVID made it so much worse.
Yeah.
So much worse. I don't even have to leave the house to go to work anymore if I don't want to. I can work from home. I mean, for all you know, I've got a really nice shirt on and I'm not sitting here in my underwear. Who knows? I'm really not. I'm just going to go ahead and clear that up.
I'm not
still wearing my shoes too.
We're not going to double check.
But COVID made it so much worse. It's like, I need food, shows up at the house. I need my groceries, it shows up at the house. My across the street neighbor, let's see, over the course of 1 week, I saw a dog groomer, a mechanic, and a pediatrician.
Yep. Make a house call.
Making a house call. You know, it's the United States of Amazon.
And that's what we think. And we think we're all set. And what you said, no one's coming.
No one's coming.
That needs to be the mindset.
Yeah.
Because you lose
and there's
nothing
many,
if that's
many
your mindset.
reasons as to why nobody's going to be coming. It may have nothing to do with lack of responders. There's all sorts of considerations that people need to realize that are out there. And I'm not going to go into detail on what some of those considerations are. Just assume nobody's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best assumption. And if someone shows up, great.
Now, the good news is it's like, okay, what do I do about disaster response? How do I get ready? Well, Google search one. If you can't figure it out on YouTube, it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's any number of resources out there. I mean, you look at your company. You guys will teach anybody anything. It's like, look, we got a pack, we got a pouch. We'll talk till we're blue in the face on how to use it.
Yep.
And there's all sorts of things out there. You know, look at the company I was with when we met in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you don't need a boat to come get you. We'll install one on the side of your house.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had those guys on the
Boat
podcast.
launch gone.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Great product.
But I mean, there's any number of resources out there that, you know, and people are like, well, it's expensive to do that. I was like, it can be, sure. But most of the stuff that I buy from my search and rescue pack, I get at Walmart.
Yeah.
Or Academy.
And what's the price of not doing it?
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, what's the price of not doing it?
What's the cost of not doing it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the real dark sided guy here. The small price is you don't make it. The large price is the people you were responsible for don't make it.
Yeah.
That's the big cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, friends, family, loved ones, your dog, your cat. I'm assuming my fish in the aquarium will survive a flood okay, but who knows?
Yeah.
It was already swimming when it started.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the price you pay is the people that were counting on you to be the leader, whether it's the household or the community or whatever, you know, that's the big price to pay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when you look at civilian preparedness for disaster response, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. And if you really, and I mean, this may just be me, I may be talking out of line here, but to me, it would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's like, take your 72-hour bag, go out in the woods, see what happens. If it goes wrong in the first 72 minutes, go home and rethink it.
Right. You lose nothing.
You lose
nothing.
Yeah,
I miscalculated.
Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, they were serious about taking water.
Right.
That wasn't just a polite suggestion.
Right.
But yeah, and test it and have fun with it. My kids really eat this stuff up. And then I've got 2 nephews up in Dallas. The youngest one he's like my little protege. He's like, Uncle Rick, what are you going to teach me today? I was like, I'm going to teach you how to start a fire. Not inside the house. Your mom's still, upset about that last time. But yeah, I'm going to teach you how to start a fire. I was like, I buy him survival gear every year for Christmas. He just eats it up.
Yeah.
Like, he's got his own bug out bag now. He's like, I'm ready to go. I was like, what about your parents? He goes, well, like you said, I'll warn them.
But it's so true. Preparedness can be fun. Like,
that's it.
And especially with the kids, like they'll love it. They'll eat it up.
Yep.
So, I'm sitting here making fun of my sister and her husband, but they're actually the polar opposite of that. So, I'm trying to remember if this has been 4 or 5 years ago, they had the big tornado up in Richardson, Texas. Well, that thing started at one end of their street and just went right down the middle of it, right? And my sister, I was watching the news and my wife's like, man, did you know that tornado hit Richardson last night? I was like, no, but I was like drinking wine and stuff. So I don't know. So I called my sister that morning. It's like 6. And she's like, yeah, it's pretty bad. We got a bunch of stuff down, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, let me grab some stuff. I'm on my way. And I grabbed chainsaw, hand tools, drove like 3 hours to their house. And by the time I got there, that whole neighborhood had come together. That one lady that just took charge of everything. She's like, okay, I'm going to send you 3 over there to work. And so I got there, I plugged in, and she had food organized to be delivered. Everybody brought out like cases of water, da, 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 da. Fire department and police department drove by and were like, you guys need anything? Like, they were all, no, we're good. We're good to go.
Wow.
We cleared that street in like a day.
That's beautiful.
And I was like, and I kept telling my sisters, like, this is a prime example.
That is amazing.
Of what the mindset everybody needs to get into.
Yep.
Because those people now became an asset in a time of crisis.
Correct.
Yep.
They're no longer a liability.
And it was, there was a few elderly families on the block that we just showed up, knocked on the door, be like, hey, they're like, oh, I called somebody. I was like, don't worry about it. We got this.
Yep.
For your own safety, go back inside. We're going to, use chainsaws.
We'll take it from here.
Yeah, we'll take it from here. The only thing the city had to come out and do was basically just bring out the grinder and pick everything up that we piled on the side of the road. And that was that.
Yeah. Wow. So it's funny. This is a lead-in for a future show. We're working on something called the Neighborhood Resiliency Program, where we're going to be taking a hands-on approach and basically creating almost like a recipe on how neighborhoods can come together to start forming a resilience program. We have some people in our area that have been basically not piloting it because they invented it. Mm-hmm. We can't say that we
did not invent it.
But they do this. They started as a neighborhood watch program, and it has grown into prepping and helping each other. Like they were just doing fire starting themselves, I think a week or 2 ago. So that's something else that you guys can look forward to in the podcast. Because again, our purpose on this network, the Readiness Lab Network, our focus is the everyday person, giving you guys specific little nuggets that you can either learn or work on to incorporate into your daily lives so that you can just be a little bit more prepared after every episode, right? That's kind of our goal. That's our shtick. So we got some things in the works that we're working on. And Rick, we thank you so much for coming on today. This has been extremely eye-opening. And we appreciate.
So the neighborhood thing you're talking about,
mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I'm going to be sitting down and discussing. Like, I've got a whole page of notes I'm happy to share with you on that particular venue if you want.
That'd be great. Yeah,
I just can't reach my notebook from
that's
there.
Okay. We'll get into the lab with you. We'll bring some things. Yeah.
But before we conclude, I mean, one of the things I know we wanted to talk about. So you have one of our products, the U-Pack Pro, which is a 72-hour survival kit that we sell at Instinct Ready.
Yep.
And we're very proud of it.
Yeah.
And as a professional, we just wanted to hear your thoughts. What do you think? In having the U-Pack Pro, what do you think of it?
So, first off, you guys, when I met you in New York, and gals. That was the first I had ever even heard of somebody actually making a product of, here, take this out the door with you. You know, whether you're going to shelter in place or whether you got to go to the shelter, what have you. And since then, I've seen, and I'm not going to mention any names here, I've seen other companies trying to do the same thing. They don't come close to y'all's. The pack itself is ergonomical. It's comfortable to wear. I hiked with that pack both in the mountains of Colorado and outside of Tucson, Arizona. And it rode very, very well. I carried the full loadout. Plus, I liked everything that was in the pack. Now, you have to understand something when you talk about backpacking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The only thing I would do is I would take that pack if it was mine, and I would try to minimize certain things that were in there just to lighten the load.
Yeah.
And the reason I say this is you could have a family of 5. Everybody went out and bought one of the Instinct Ready Go packs. And the first time they got to take that pack is they got to hike 10 miles and get to the closest shelter. And that was the first time they put that pack on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that also goes from my backpacking experiences, like, you know, less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I also tell people, it's like, if you have room in your pack, it is not a requirement to fill it.
Yes.
Yeah. It is not required to fill it.
Yep.
So, but no, I had a really fun time the first time I unpacked that thing. It was just like, there was just more, you know, and I was having a blast. My daughter was watching me do it, and she's like, he's so geeked out right now. He doesn't even know where he's at. He's got like tears in his eyes. He's all freaking out. I was like, oh my God, but wait, there's more. Like, there's a toolkit. You know, who knew?
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that. We had some fun putting it together, and we don't view it as a finished product.
Yeah.
Right? We are continually tweaking it. We're taking feedback. So for any of our listeners that may have purchased something from us, and if you have some recommendations, we want to hear it. Mm-hmm. How can we make it even better? We're always interested in that. You know, so we appreciate the fact that you took some time, spent some time with it, Rick. You took some video of it. We appreciate that, and we thank you for your feedback, man.
No, I love that pack. I sent one of y'all an email a few months back because I was like, the next time I set up another search and rescue pack, it's probably just going to be one of y'all's pack, but it'll have my SAR gear in it.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing I think we're going to try to work on and collaborate together is actually creating a kit for search and rescue operations for the responders that are being deployed. Correct. So
do you want a USAR pack list or do you want a SAR pack list? I'm
both. Greedy. I want both.
Let's do both.
Okay, let's do both. I'm sure we can work something out.
We'll work it out.
I don't want to limit us at all.
Yeah, Rick, this was really awesome getting to talk with you and spend some time chatting and talking shop. Where can people go if they want to connect with you and see what you're doing? Do you have a website, any social media, anything that you want to plug here? Where can people go to stay in touch with you?
So, you can find me on Facebook if you want to send me a friend request. You might want to send me a message going, hey, I saw your podcast, instead of being like, you trying to get money out of me? The best thing to do is probably Flood Rescue Academy. Is go to our website. It's basically floodrescueacademy.org. It's all lowercase. You can also email me at floodrescueacademy@gmail.com. We have several videos now up on YouTube. For those that are watching that don't know, I'll just make a shameless little advertising spiel here. We are an indoor swiftwater rescue training facility outside of Austin, Texas. We're the only one of its kind in the world. That being said, we are in the process of collaborating with a technical college that's building a rescue training facility in North Carolina to build them a tank. We're also hopefully going to be expanding our scope of operations for training to the Texas National Guard. They're going to be a big thing. We are getting ready to start working with a veterans group to get guys together that have PTSD or stuff and work with them at our facility. kind of like in the tradition of Chris Kyle, of course, we'll be doing more of the water rescue part, not the shooting part, but we want to do our part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as we can.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Flood Rescue Academy, we're on Facebook. We're on all the social medias. I've got a great group of people that work with me now. I'm easy enough to find. I don't try to hide. But yeah, anybody that wants to reach out to me anytime, ask me any questions. I can talk about gear, swiftwater rescue, or nerd stuff all day long until you probably get blue in the face. It's not a big deal to me.
Well, love it.
We're definitely going to have you back on Disaster Class. That's
yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, Rick,
Tom, no, this is like I said, I can talk about this all day long. I mean, you guys, we didn't get a lot done in New York because we started talking.
Yeah, we just were talking.
We probably missed 2 or 3 potential customers for each of our company every 5 minutes because, like, if they're really interested, they'll come back. We go back.
We're like, go away. We're talking here.
We're talking. Back away.
Yeah.
Customers.
It's business.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, anytime. Be happy to talk about. I mean, you can just surprise me with like random questions. I'll just see if I can answer them off the top of my head.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
CB's actually an expert in this subject.
Yeah, well, quiz. That's quiz time. We'll have a new segment, quiz time.
Yep.
Quiz time.
Well, thank you, Rick, so much for coming on Disaster Class. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We appreciate
Anytime.
Well, Wesley, before we conclude this episode of Disaster Class, as always, there's homework.
Yes, we love the homework part, don't we? So we're hoping you can make sure you like, subscribe to Disaster Class, right? Leave us that 5-star rating. Give us a thumbs up. Please comment about something that you learned or appreciated from this episode. We really want to hear from you.
Yeah. And as always, if you have a question, you have a preparedness tip, a disaster story to share, send us an email at disasterclass@instinctready.com or send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. And doing so will put you in running to be featured on the show and win some cool stuff. So thank you so much for listening to Disaster Class. Stay educated.
Stay prepared.
Stay equipped. We'll see you next time. Disaster Class is part of the Readiness Lab, the home for podcasts, webinars, and training in the field of emergency and disaster services.